Hi friends, Sarah here with The Holy Mess, and in this video I'm going to go over with you what we know about the Weight Watchers plan changes that are coming in November of 2021 and will continue on into 2022. So we know that the plan is going to be changing. What do we know? What's the information so far? And then most important, what should you do about it? I have been receiving tons of emails, questions on my social media. I want to be really clear. I do not work for Weight Watchers. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. I run a website called theholymess.com. I have been a Weight Watchers member for 20 years off and on. I've used lots of their different plans. I have lost over 100 pounds with Weight Watchers, and I am a lifetime member. I am at my goal weight. I'm actually under my goal weight. And so I love it. I think it's fabulous. I have tons of wonderful Weight Watchers information on my website, meal plans, recipes, but I'm not affiliated with Weight Watchers at all. Okay, so what I want to hear from you in the comments as I'm telling you about this is, how are you feeling about these changes? So give me a 1, a 2, or a 3. So number 1 would be, oh my gosh, I'm completely panicked. I can't believe they're changing the plan. I want to quit. This is terrible. A 2 would be, okay, I'm willing to consider this. I'm maybe a little cautious. And a 3 would be, I'm all in. I'm ready for changes. I need something new. So tell me in the comments as you're watching this video, are you a 1, a 2, or a 3 when you think about the changes? So we'll go over what the changes are of what we know so far, and then the second part of the video, definitely don't miss that part. I want to talk to you about what you can do about it very specifically. So here's what we know about the new plan, and while this is still technically rumor, I think about what I'm about to share we can feel pretty confident, and I'm going to give you a link to my website to where I cite my sources for where we have this information. So we know that a new plan is coming. It is coming in November. Most places in the United States, I think it's going to be November 11th. I've heard a few other dates in November thrown around, but November 11th is the one that I've heard referenced the most. Weight Watchers has officially said in a public meeting that yes, the plan will be changing and that trials are currently underway. I have also seen in Facebook groups people who work for Weight Watchers stating that they are already using the plan. So I think we can really confidently say the plan is going to change. Also, those of us who have been Weight Watchers members for a long time know that every 2 years, Weight Watchers completely revamps the plan. Every year they make changes in November, getting ready for January, which is their big season. But every other year, it's just usually minor changes, so the whole plan doesn't change, but they'll maybe just do a few updates to things. But every other year, it's big. So the name of the plan changes, the way the points are figured changes, the 0-point foods might change. So this isn't a surprise to those of us who have been in Weight Watchers world for a long time. The plan, as far as we know, is going to be called Weight Watchers, or WW Personal Points. And again, on the website, I can give you a reference to why we know that, but Weight Watchers has trademarked that name. So what they have told us is that, well, first of all, the blue, the green, the purple is going to be ending. I know it's going to be going away. So again, tell me in the comments if you haven't yet, how are you feeling about these changes? 1 is a panic, 2 is you're feeling and 3 is like you're all in, ready for a change. So this is what Weight Watchers has said about the new WW Personal Points. It's going to be more holistic. It's going to take all the nutrition label into account. It's going to be personalized to you. So it's going to include things like your activity level, your water, how many vegetables you eat. It's also going to be, it says it's going to be individualized for your 0-point foods. So I'm super curious to see how they're going to do that. Something else is that, and we don't know yet if this is going to be part of that plan or completely separate, is that Weight Watchers has officially said they are going to have a diabetic plan. Now, a lot of people have speculated, does that mean it's going to be more low carb? Weight Watchers has always been, across the board for all these years, a low calorie plan. That the way to lose weight is to eat lower calories than what your body is burning. And despite the fact that paleo has been popular and keto has been popular, Weight Watchers has never endorsed an especially low carb plan. So I think we're all feeling pretty curious and interested to see what the new diabetic plan will include. Will it be a combination of both? I definitely don't think it will be an extreme low carb, but maybe it will have some variations of that. Weight Watchers has also said very clearly that it is going to be more individualized for your needs. So if you need gluten-free, if you need vegetarian or vegan, there are going to be some options for that. And again, we don't know exactly what that will look like, but that's exciting for those of us who might need some of those things. Over the last few years, definitely Weight Watchers has moved toward more whole, clean foods. So what's that going to mean for the new plan? We aren't exactly sure yet. One of the things that people have criticized Weight Watchers for, especially their packaged products, is how processed they are. Weight Watchers has also tended to use a lot of artificial sweeteners and ingredients. So they have already said that we're going to see more whole, real foods in their packaged foods, so I'm looking forward to that. But as far as their stance on sweeteners, things like stevia, time will tell. We will see what they continue to do. And we know that Weight Watchers continues to follow the latest research, trends, information. They do their own clinical trials. So I think it's always fascinating to watch. So that is what we know so far about what is going to be the Weight Watchers Personal Points plan. So I'm curious from you in the comments, how do you feel about this potentially being a lower carb plan? Does that interest you? Does that excite you? Does that, that doesn't interest you at all? How do you feel about the, at least maybe, option of eating more of a lower carb plan from Weight Watchers, which would be brand new? That would be something they haven't really done before. So that's what we know so far. Now the next part of this video I actually think is much more important, and I want to talk about what you should do about this. What are you going to do about the new plan? So I have 3 don'ts for you and then something big. The first don't is don't panic. I know that it's really tempting to panic. You know, our food choices are it's so personal and yet so private, and it's something that affects our entire life. You know, people who don't have issues with food maybe think, oh, what's the big deal? So the plan's changing, who cares? But those of us who rely on this, I get where you're coming from. And, you know, for many years I was a binge eater and a compulsive overeater. I was addicted to food. And even now, I'm not addicted to food anymore. I'm not a binge eater anymore. But my food choices are really important to me. It's very important for me. It's a high priority for me to maintain my weight loss. So I get it if you're feeling a little bit panicked. Don't think that you're abnormal. All of us are here. There's a reason why there's so much buzz about this. It's because you care. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing that you care. So I don't want you to panic. I want you to recognize this is something that happens. Change is inevitable, not just with Weight Watchers, but with all things. But with Weight Watchers, we know that the plan changes every couple years. So please don't panic. I personally believe that Weight Watchers has our best interest at mind, which leads me to point number 2, which is don't assume the worst. Please don't assume, oh no, because the plan is changing, I'm going to lose all my favorite 0-point foods, or I'm going to miss out on this favorite lunch that I had that used to be only 2 points, or I'm not going to be able to have my favorite snack before bed anymore, or Weight Watchers is just in it for the money. They don't really care about us. Well, I want to address that a little bit. First of all, Yes, Weight Watchers is in it for the money because they are a business. Sometimes I see in different groups and things that Weight Watchers is being almost made to be the villain because they're making money. If they weren't making money, they wouldn't be here. They would have closed up shop years ago, and so we wouldn't be able to get their help. Of course they're making money. They're supposed to be making money. That's their job. They're a business. Stop saying that that's a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. We live in the United States. This is a free economy. Go us, that's great. So I do believe they have our best interests in mind. Just because they're making money doesn't mean that they are out to get you or somehow trying to cheat you out of your weight loss or somehow make it that you can't lose weight. I completely disagree with that. The whole goal of Weight Watchers is for you to lose weight and get to your goal weight because that's how they're successful. So I believe that they are trying to help you be successful. Are they trying to make money? Sure, that's their job. But I don't think that means that they don't want you to be a success story. They want you to be successful because that reflects positively on them. So don't panic, don't assume the worst. And number 3, don't give away your power. Don't give away your power. And here's what I mean by that. You have something very powerful right now, right at your fingertips right now. And that is no one can control what you eat except for you. No one makes you eat anything. Nothing you take in or go out of your mouth is in anyone else's control except for you. And this is true if you are a parent or a grandparent who's ever tried to make a child eat something. Trust me, you cannot make them eat anything. You can encourage, you can cajole, you can motivate, but you can't make them eat anything. And the same is true for you. Only you control what goes into and out of your mouth. And that is powerful, friends. Do not give your power away. If you believe that, I want you to type in the comments right now, I decide what I eat. Take that power. I decide what I eat. Type that in the comments. Say it out loud. I know your friends might think you're a little funny, or your coworkers, or your family, or your dog, but that's okay. Say it out loud. I decide what I eat. I have heard people say at different times, oh, well, Weight Watchers used to have the Simply Filling plan, or they used to have the Core plan, or they used to have this plan or that plan, or this Smart Points. And then when they quit that plan, I regained all my weight, or I gained 20 pounds. No. Do not give Weight Watchers that type of power. If you regained weight, it's because you overate. It is not because Weight Watchers changed their plan. Never give Weight Watchers too much power. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I'm a Weight Watchers member. I have been for many years. I'm a lifetime member. I'm a huge believer in Weight Watchers. I'm a huge fan of Weight Watchers. Their plan is part of what changed my entire life, that I'm now maintaining a 130-pound weight loss. So don't think that I'm not saying Weight Watchers isn't great, but I also don't give Weight Watchers my power. I am in charge of what I eat, me and only me. And so as much as I might be excited or nervous or curious or any of those things about the Weight Watchers plan changing, ultimately it is still within my power to make sure that I maintain this weight loss. And it is in your power to lose weight, to keep the weight off, whatever your particular goal is. Weight Watchers can absolutely help you, and I do believe they have our best interests in mind, and I'm excited for the new plan. Am I nervous? Sure, I'm a little bit nervous too, but I'm excited. But ultimately, I will not give away my power to Weight Watchers either. So again, in the comments, I would love to hear from you and say, I decide what I eat, to make sure that you keep your personal power. So no matter what happens with this, you don't need to panic. You don't need to assume the worst, and you don't need to give Weight Watchers your power, because no matter what, you have the power to lose weight and stay there for the rest of your life. Well, that's it. That is the new Weight Watchers plan. That's what we know so far. That's what's coming for 21 and 2022 with the Weight Watchers Personal Points Plan. I would love to hear from you in the comments. Now that you've watched this video, are you still a 1, a 2, or a 3, or has your number changed? A 1 was I'm panicking, a 2 was I'm so-so, and a 3 was a yes, I'm all in. What was your number at the beginning? I'd love to hear what your number is now. And no matter what, I'm here with you. We are in it together, and I'm here to guide you along the way. Again, I don't work for Weight Watchers, but I love the system. It's been so effective for me, and we're going to do this thing together, friends. I'm Sarah with the Holy Mess. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.